So in this presentation, we'll be exploring the role of functional foods in cancer prevention. We're all aware of the significant impact cancer has on individuals and families around the world. In our hunt for strategies to fight this condition, diet emerges as an effective collaborator. Our focus will be on how specific nutrients, known as functional foods, can help prevent cancer. The goal of this discussion is to look into the potential of these nutrients allies, knowing both the scientific basis and the practical consequences. The presentation is to aim to explain how everyday dietary decisions might potentially cut down the risk of cancer and improve our general health. So let's begin by defining what functional foods are and discussing their components that are believed to help with cancer prevention. Functional foods are those that offer health benefits beyond basic nutrition. Those foods contain bioactive compounds that contribute to overall health, potentially reducing the risk of illnesses. Some of the potential benefits might be disease prevention, regular consumption that can help reduce the risk of chronic diseases such as heart diseases, diabetes, and cancer. And they also enhance immune functions. Certain food boost the immune system, helping to fend off illnesses. And also they improve gut health. Foods that are rich in fiber and probiotics support digestive health and promote a healthy gut microbiome. And lastly, they're also anti-inflammatory. Many functional foods reduce inflammation, which is a root cause of many chronic conditions. Some of these examples of these foods are listed on the right side, like berries, turmeric, fishes, yogurt, and other vegetables. So cancer is not a single disease, but a group of related disease characteristics characterized by uncontrolled growth and spread of abnormal cells. If the spread is not controlled, it can result in death. Cancer can almost start anywhere in the human body, which is made up of trillions of cells. Normally, human cells grow and multiply and undergo cell division to form new cells as the body needs them. When cells grow old and become damaged, they die, then new cells take their places. Sometimes these orderly process breaks down and abnormal or damaged cells grow and multiply when they shouldn't. These cells form tumors, which are masses of tissues. And according to WHO, International Agency for Research on Cancer, in the year of 2022, there are over 19 million new cases. And out of these new cases, there are over 9.5 million deaths, which made cancer the second leading cause of death globally. As we delve deeper into the role of functional foods in cancer prevention, it's crucial to understand why prevention itself is so important. Prevention measures offer multiple benefits, not just to individuals, but also to society as a whole. Firstly, prevention plays a key role in reducing the incidence of cancer. By incorporating cancer prevention foods into our diet, we potentially decrease the number of new cases and rise each year. This reduction in incidence directly translates to lower healthcare cost. Fewer cases means less demand in medical services, treatments, and hospital bills, which significantly reduces the economic burden on our healthcare system. In 2010, there are 13.3 million new cases of cancer and were predicted to cost 290 billion US dollars, but the total costs were expected to increase to 458 billion in the year of 2030 on the basis of World Economic Forum. Secondly, prevention through nutrition doesn't just ward off diseases, it enhances the quality of our life and increases our longevity. Consuming a diet rich in functional foods contributes to overall better health, more viability, and stronger immune system. We can see from this figure above, within the environmental factors, diet represents a significant portion, estimated at 30 to 35%. This highlights a huge potential of dietary choices in influencing our cancer risk. It's here that functional foods come into play. And now let's look at a really interesting experiment aimed to explore the potential of natural compounds in preventing cancers. This focus on a specific type of extract derived from the plant Achillea fragmentissima. Achillea fragmentissima is a desert plant used in the traditional medicine and traditional food of a lot of Arab countries to treat many diseases of the liver and kidney. The objective of this experiment was to investigate the chemopreventive properties of the hydromethanolic extract from the plant against various type of cancer. Chemo prevention refers to the use of natural or substances used to prevent cancer. The dried leaves were first grounded into powder, soaked in methanol to extract the compound, and subsequently filtered and evaporated to obtain a concentrated paste. Then this extract was then subjected to phytochemical analysis and other series of assays to identify the active compound responsible for its anti-cancer properties. The finding from this experiment was quite promising. Researchers discovered that the natural compound in the extract can inhibit the growth of cancer cells and, in some cases, even lead to cell death. This reports that broader notion that components found in traditional foods and medicine plants can play a significant role in cancer prevention. In the second experiment that we're going to look at, this experiment was to investigate the relationship between mushroom consumption and the risk of gastric cancer. This was conducted through a pooled analysis within the Stomach Cancer Polling Project and a meta-analysis that included both new data from the STOMP project and previously published studies. The aim was to determine if higher consumption of mushrooms, which are rich in minerals, vitamins, and antioxidants, could reduce the incidence of gastric cancer. So in the pooled analysis, data were collected from the STOMP project involving 11 studies with a total of 3,900 gastric cancer cases and 7,792 controls. Mushroom consumption was assessed using food frequency questionnaires. Then in meta-analysis, this analysis included the data from the STOMP project as well, plus 4 previously published studies. And in the results, we found that in the pooled analysis from the STOMP project, the relative risk for the highest versus lowest mushroom consumption categories was 0.82 with a 95% confidence interval of 0.91 to 0.95. And also in the meta-analysis of the 4 previously published studies, the relative risk was 0.59. These findings suggest a protective effect of mushrooms against gastric cancers. Lastly, in the third experiment that we're going to look at was used to evaluate the antioxidant and anti-cancer properties of potato protease inhibitors extracted as a main component from potato protein isolate. Specifically, the study aimed to assess how potato protease inhibitors can protect cells from oxidative damage and inhibit the migration and invasion of certain cancer cells. So first, these inhibitors were concentrated and then undergo a concentration test to make sure that they're about 5 milligrams per milliliter. And then they undergo a radical scavenging measurement, the hydrogen peroxide radical scavenging capacity of PPIs were qualified, providing an indication of their antioxidant potentials. Then the antioxidant activity of PPIs was measured using cellular assays, both with and without PBS, which are phosphate buffer saline wash, to determine how they protect cells from oxidative stress. And then they were tested on real cancer cells called GIST882 to assess their anti um, um, cancer cell effects, measuring the concentration required to inhibit 50% of cell growth. The impact of PPIs on the morphology and integrity of the cells were also evaluated, particularly looking at how they inhibit changes introduced by oxidative stress, which in this case is hydrogen peroxide. So, in conclusion, the potato protease inhibitors effectively prevent oxidative damage introduced by hydrogen peroxide in cells, maintaining cell integrity and inhibiting morphological changes. They exhibit selective anti-proliferative effects of cancer cells, and they inhibit the growth and migration and division of these cancer cells. These findings support the potential use of potato protease inhibitors as a functional food to prevent oxidative damage and fight cancer. So, like the studies that we just went through has emphasized the power of prevention through nutrition, enforcing the potential of everyday choices to significantly influence our health outcomes. Preventing cancer before it develops is a proactive approach that focuses on modifying lifestyles and dietary habits to reduce the risk of cancer. By integrating a diet rich in vegetables and other functional foods, we have harnessed the power of phytochemicals, which are known to inhibit the onset and progression of cancerous cells. The strategy not only cuts down the likelihood of cancer, but also enhances overall health, emphasizing prevention as a preferable and effective form of health management. By choosing functional foods, we harness their potential to protect against cancer. And here are my references. Thank you.